I'm right here. Well, don't mind me. I'm just playing Wonder Project J as a Nintendo 64 Repro. Translated on actual hardware. To prove it, here's this. I'm moving the controller around and there's my bird flown around. To prove it, I'm gonna go ahead and power off. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here it goes. All right, I'm going to show you how you make your own Nintendo 64 Repros. No experience required, no soldering needed, no unsoldering needed, no rewiring. This will be the easiest ones you can do and some of the best games out there. Check it out. So how are you feeling? You got John Rigg'd here. Nintendo 64 Repros, they're a real thing now. Pretty cool too. I haven't put a label on this yet. Haven't got as far as that, but I've been playing around with this for a little while now, and I think it's super cool. It's about time, right? The Nintendo 64, not the vast library that a Nintendo or Super Nintendo or even Sega Genesis has. However, there's still a lot of great games out there, including games like Wonder Project J, translated, including like the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest, including the Sin and Punishment translation. And there's some great imports that are out there too. Great way to play some of these. And just fun to do. And the cool thing is with these flashboards, and I'll even open this up so you can see what it looks like here. They're easy to write a game on here, and then when you're done with it, dump it, like erase it, and then put something else on here. Here's the philosophy with Nintendo 64 Repros though. The gimmick behind NES is it's all about the circuit board. If the circuit board matches, the game would probably work. With Super Nintendo, it's like high ROM, low ROM. With Sega Genesis, if the game's ROM matches in size, it'll work. With this one, it's all about the CIC, which stands for Circuit Central Integrated. It's the lockout chip. Is what it is. And with Nintendo 64 Repros, with their games, the CIC is programmed specifically for the game. Most of them are going to be the one, I have to look over here, 6102. Most of them are going to be 6102, which is this guy right here. However, there are some other ones, like there's one that ends with 5, there's one that ends with 3. So knowing which one you're going to use will depend on which one of these you get. It's going to be the same one of these, but just a different lockout chip here. And Retro Stage has everything you're looking for. These guys right here, thanks to our friends at Retro Stage. This little switch here will go from NTSC to PAL, so it works that way too. Battery's already included in everything. And when you order one of these, you order which one you want along with the CIC. It makes it real easy for you. Well, how do you dump it on here? Well, that's when this guy comes in. Introducing the N64 Blaster. That's all you need. Just one of these, it comes with the cord, you pop it in your computer. I'm actually able to use my Windows 10 machine to dump the games on here. This is good to go. Now, you're not going to need an EEPROM programmer. You're not going to need a soldering iron, a desoldering iron, wire, solder, soldering wick. You're not going to need flux. You're not going to need any of that. All you need is one of these, your computer, one of these, and you're good to go. They also do offer cases as well, so you don't have to destroy any games for making these. No games are destroyed. All you're doing is one of these. In fact, I'm going to keep one of these around just for fun, because every once in a while you're going to have one of those like, oh man, I rented, what was the name of that game? Glover. I rented Glover when I was a kid. I want to play that game again, but you don't want to pay for it. You just pop it on here, play it for a while. When you're done with it, erase it, pop something else on here, maybe later on. So long as the CIC matches, you'll be good to go. This one here was the Wonder Project J I was just making. I'm going to erase it and put another game on here. You're going to see exactly how easy this is. All of the programs are included, and they are all at retrostage.net. So retrostage.net has this guy here, has these guys here, has everything you need. Now to do this, it's going to cost you a couple bucks. Not too bad though. Everything you need, less than $100. I'm okay with that too. Because the EEPROM programmer I bought was like $150. The desoldering gun itself was $150. This guy here, about $50. I think it's like $52, something like that. $52, that's all it is. Just one of those. You get one of these, you're good to go. Each of these is going to cost you, it's like $25, $26 or something like that. But when you consider one of these and one of these, well, that's already cheaper than an EverDrive. And you can already pretty much play every game there is, for the most part, anyway. There's a couple games you can't. Let's get those out of the way. I tried making Animal Crossing translated. There is one out there. when it gets to the part where you have to put in the time, it crashes because there is no internal clock in the Nintendo 64. Maybe the original game had something inside it. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe you'll let me know in the comments below. You cannot make, unfortunately, the No Mercy mods. The No Mercy mods, the Super Mario 64 mods, those were all designed without the idea that they would ever be on a cartridge. They work in an emulator because there's no size restrictions. There's a size restriction on these guys. Not for regular games, but for the mods that they incorporate into these Nintendo 64 games. So some of the hacks will work. I haven't found a Super Mario 64 hack that does yet, but there are some other game hacks that do work, like GoldenEye X, which is a GoldenEye skin of Perfect Dark. That one works on one of these just fine. So you just have to play around with it. I'm still playing with it as we speak, but I wanted to show this off to you. Let's erase this. Let's put something else on here. Let me show you how easy it is. All right, so I found a copy of Sin and Punishment. This is a translated Sin and Punishment. Looking forward to checking it out. It is byte-swapped V64. I don't want that. I want the Big Indian Z64. This is how easy this is. This is through the Tools 64 program again. Right-click, change it to that, and there we go. Good to go. All right, we can program this onto our flash cart now, onto our N64 blaster thanks to Retro Stage. This is how easy this is, and this will blow your mind. When you get these program files to install this on your computer, it literally says install first, and then it tells you step by step with the README what to install first. It's so, I promise you can get this to work. And then here we go. Here's the Retro Blaster. Just go right here. There's the program. This is what we'll be looking at. This is through my COM3. This is the blaster. It's the only option you have to choose from. You want to initialize it. Well, the first thing we want to do is pop it in. Now, of course, this part goes into the system. It's this top part, if you're wondering. That's what goes in here, kind of upside down. So I'll show you. Just like so. There we go. All right, so we got that in place. We're going to initialize. That's the first thing we want to do always, is initialize it. Make sure it reads it. Little blue light comes on there. Oh, I missed the blue light. Let's see if I can get the blue light next time around. All right, and now that it's initialized, there's a game already on there. We need to erase that so we can put another game on there. I'm gonna do that right now. Just hit the erase button, and it'll work its magic. There's that blue light. And where'd it go? There is a blue light there, I promise. The blue light shows up right there. Yeah, this will actually take a little while, so we'll be right back. All right, and that took about a minute or two, probably just about a minute. All right, here we go. We're gonna write. We're going to find our game, Sin and Punishment. You click on that. You click open. And I'm trying to get it down here so you can see the blue light turn on. There we go. Yay. I told you there was a blue light. All right, and then this part, depending on how big the game is, will take a couple of minutes. 2 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. We'll be right back. We'll see how this goes. All right, it just finished. It writes and then it verifies. I was not really paying attention to the time or how long it took, but it seemed like it took about 5 minutes for it to write and then a few minutes on top of that. Not as long to verify, but it's okay because this thing is a big game. It's like a 32, I think this one's a 32 meg game here, but you're gonna pop it out like this. And you can just put it in a cart now, but I'm gonna pop it in just like this because I want to make sure, I want to see it working. I don't want to wait. I just want to play the game. And here it is. And for Nintendo 64 games, you face it away. So I'll pop it in just like this. Extra careful egg. Power it on. Should boot up. There we go. Super fun game too. I mean, anything from Treasure, you know it's going to be a good game. Sin and Punishment. Man, what a great game. And translated, right? It's a rail shooter if you're not familiar with what Sin and Punishment is. I'll try playing a couple of moments of it one-handed. Which is fine because you just need the analog and the trigger, so. Pretty cool. What a great game. Actually, I can probably pretty much almost play this game one-handed, except for I need the other buttons to do that. But anyway, we got it working. Check it out. Nintendo 64 Repros. The thing of the future. I love it. And just to prove that I can, yeah, you can totally make the Legend of Zelda Master Quest on this one. Super cool when you make it yourself. Not a bad investment, not a bad thing, especially to bring to some conventions maybe. Just putting it out there. And these cases, simple enough, are just 4 standard screws for any Nintendo, Super Nintendo. It's the same 3.8mm star bit. just throw out 4 screws. These ones you gotta put in place because that's what holds the game in there. And here it is. Still need to put a label on it, but it's Sin and Punishment, and it works on a Nintendo 64, and it's translated. What a great gift this would make to someone, maybe like for birthday or Christmas. It's like, you know, who else? You know, maybe they collect Nintendo 64. They have all the US Nintendo 64 releases. They don't have this. Maybe they don't have Master Quest on a 64 cart. Super, super special. I want to thank Retro Stage, not only for making something as cool as this, but also something as easy as this. No experience necessary. You don't need to know anything about making repros to make something like this. That's awesome. You're not destroying any old games. All the Nintendo 64 games are staying right where they should be, which is not being destroyed, you know? and I think it's super cool. So again, thank you Retro Stage for this. What I love about the website when I looked into getting this equipment and everything is I loved how easy it was. Now, I'm not the most tech savvy, believe it or not. And if you see me doing some of my open cart surgery videos, you know how tech savvy I'm not. Just stuff seems to work sometimes, especially when it comes to installing certain programs. But they made it super easy. The downloads, it said install first. The readmes were laid out beautifully. I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. And the beautiful thing is, unlike my EEPROM programmer, I'm able to use this program on my Windows 10 machine, which is phenomenal. So thank you for that, and thank you for the easy tutorial. And I'm hoping this video will help out once you get your stuff going. That if you need like a hands-on, like, well, what did he do? How did, like, if it's not a Z64 ROM, how do I make it so it's whatever proper? How do I find what the CIC I need should be and stuff like that? And the dudes at Retro Stage did say that they are making a program to find out easier without using Project 64, what the CIC would be. But in the meantime, that will work just fine. Or when in doubt, just grab the 6102. That's going to do most of the games for you. So this is awesome. I'm flabbergasted. I'm still looking for more Nintendo like Super Mario 64 hacks and like No Mercy hacks or mods. If there's any of them that do work, if you're playing around with this and you find some hacks that do work that are worth checking out, let me know in the comments because I'm looking forward to checking some of those out too. Now these and these are available right now. Again, link in the description below. They'll ship it straight to your door. And I'm just blown away how easy this was. It was one of those things. I was like, man, Nintendo 64 Repros, that may never happen, and they made it happen, and in record time. And again, super easy. I don't have to solder or desolder or wire anything. With me and my arthritic thumbs, I can make this happen just fine. So again, thank you for watching. And a big thanks to Retro Stage as well, not only for doing Nintendo 64 stuff, they also do Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and I'm going to show off some of that stuff in a future video as well. Stuff that doesn't require any rewiring. If you're looking at making like your own Earthbound hack or something like that, Retro Stage is a great place to get the parts you need to make some high quality Super Nintendo stuff happen. Even Star Ocean. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everything you do. Consider being a Patreon, and until next time, bless you and everyone you hug. Thanks.